All right, the Swanson Dynasty League of Greatness. This is a expert Dynasty League, developmental league, based in its second year, I guess, technically. So what we did was we got 12 guys together, play fantasy, new college football well. And this is run by Scott Fish of FF Oasis, kind of the mastermind behind developmental leagues. And what we did is we drafted college players last year. First, we had a bunch of rounds. Got to draft college guys, and those players next year will be on your fantasy team. So we didn't play the league out last year. We just drafted these farm system players, basically. So we did that. This year we come back, we draft again, and there's no restrictions for your farm team, your college players. And, you draft someone, they're going to end up on your fantasy team. So you can take a freshman, you can take a senior, you can take whoever you want. My farm team, my initial draft, I took Eddie Lacy, I think at like the 1-3 or something. So that's pretty much worked out. I took Kenny Stills pretty high. Who else did I take? Marcus Davis was my last round pick. That didn't work out. Ray Graham I took pretty high. Rex Burkhead. So you'll see some of my other picks, but it wasn't a great draft for me, I guess. I like Stills, I like Lacy. If I get two, it works out. And then we did like a startup draft. And it's a deep league. I mean, we have 40 roster spots, no IDPs, no kickers, no defenses. Everyone in the NFL is pretty much on a roster. So my quarterbacks, I got Cam Newton pretty early, and then I got Jake Locker and Terrell Pryor as my backups. I also took Brian Hoyer and Sean Hill just to have. Running backs, obviously Eddie Lacy, as I already mentioned, I got in the farm system draft. But I went C.J. Spiller, Marshawn Lynch with my first two picks. Really want to build up these running backs, and I thought that was pretty good. And after that, it pretty much dies out. Roy Halu, Andre Brown, Justin Forsett, Tywan Jones, and Bernard Pierce, I think could be a good player. Jaquiz Rogers, I got pretty late. Daniel Thomas, I got pretty late. Mike Tolbert. Receivers, not so hot. Reggie Wayne, I guess was the second one I took. I also took T.Y. Hilton. So I got the Colts guys. Kenny Stills, I mentioned, I brought up. Andre Roberts, I think will be a solid player. Sidney Rice, I took too early. Brandon Gibson, Nate Burleson, Travis Benjamin, Salim Hakeem, Ricardo Lockett, Dane Sansenbacher. This is deep. We're going deep here. Tight end. Yeah, I don't have much. I took Jason Witten. I mean, Jason Witten's going to be my stud, I guess. But after that, Kobe Fleener, Mercedes Lewis, Ed Dixon, Jordan Reed, David Paulson, Richard Gordon. So that's not too bad. I also took Michael Crabtree. Obviously, he's hurt. He's on injured reserve, along with Kevin Dorsey, who I kind of drafted to develop. I also drafted Chris Harper to develop him. He's on San Francisco now. Philip Lutzenkirk, and he got cut. How about my farm team? Who do I got? So, guys from the initial draft, the one from last year. I took Silas Redd in the 4th round of USC. Malcolm Mitchell in the 5th. Now, he just tore his ACL, so that doesn't look too good. Mike Davis, South Carolina running back in the 6th. He looks pretty good. James White from Wisconsin in the 7th running back. He's kind of become the backup now. Deron Neal for Oklahoma. He's kind of gone by the wayside. This year, I got Mike Evans from Texas A&M in the 1st round. Alti Tenpenny, incoming freshman from Alabama in the 2nd. Storm Woods in the 3rd. Johnny Manziel in the 4th. Brian Kimbrough in the 5th for Vanderbilt. Brett Hundley I got in the last round, the 6th round for UCLA. So that'll work out because I figured, hey, look, I have a quarterback with Cam on lockdown. I'll get my backup next year. So we're on Swanson. I have no idea how that league's going to work out. I'm probably not going to win, but I think I have a decent team.